have a top 5 list of things I had a moment with.
Oh.
That didn't feel good.
It didn't sound good.
I'm going to try again.
Oh.
I have a top 5 list I prepared here of things I had a moment with during the pandemic. A moment. Just a brief moment.
Ooh,
A fling.
I could
You like
definitely
that?
make one of these.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of weird shit during the pandemic.
Oh.
I was landscaping for like a month.
What?
Really?
I shoveled like
Take that off my list.
2 tons of dirt
Right.
at
Really?
one point.
Okay.
Yeah, with my boyfriend.
I
We
just bought a
shoveled dirt.
watering can.
Really?
Yeah, I have orchids.
Does everyone want to make a top 5 list?
Yeah, we should.
Let's do it.
They'll probably all be the same. You bake some bread.
Yeah.
Garden?
Listen, if you didn't make a loaf of sourdough bread during the pandemic, then what were you doing?
One of
Put that on the poll.
of the things that put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show. If you didn't make a loaf of sourdough bread during the pandemic, what were you doing?
Bread's one of those things that it's way too much work for what it is that you get at the end, right? And cost, too. I could just go and buy a loaf of bread for like $2 and I'm good, instead of wasting hours and money on all these ingredients.
But
It's a
like
good-
the ingredients are also cheap, right?
It's a good workout trying to knead the dough too. Like you can work out the old.
Well,
biceps
it gives
a
you
little
it's something that you try when you have 3 months of free time, because you come to appreciate in a day of trying to make bread what they go through in the bakery every day and what people do out there across America to get you your bread.
Are you running for office?
Yes, and
What's
that's why I'm
happening right
asking for
now?
your vote and a contribution to my political action
He's
committee.
trying to connect in a human way as the robot that he is with people who make bread.
You don't have a greater appreciation now, having tried to make bread, of what goes into making bread. It's an extraordinary process, and there's loaves and loaves and loaves across the world every day that get made from the great people of the heartland of America, the real hard workers like you, like me.
Pay the teachers.
What you
Pay
don't
the
see,
bakers. I
the
mean,
back of his
Pay the
shirt
bakers.
literally says freedom to dream.
I'm wearing my Inter Miami kit today. That's what's on the back of the shirt.
Pay the bakers.
I agree with that one.
Mayfield?
Well, not that
one.
Dusty though.
debatable. I mean,
That's not the one that we want to pay.
All right, Stugotz.
yeah.
Give us your list. Top 5.
All right.
Things you tried during the pandemic.
I need to understand what we're doing here, though, with a moment of something, because I did not have a moment with sourdough bread over the pandemic.
You have all this time on your hand. You want to try something new, something you've always wanted to try. You try it, and then if you're like me, you bail on it after a day.
You didn't want to better yourself at all or take up a new hobby or anything, Dan, while everyone was locked away?
Well, you guys will laugh about this.
I can't wait.
Well, I just did. Well, it is laughable. It's completely laughable. I did, with no evidence whatsoever here, or maybe I'll show you some evidence since we're toe touching, did a great deal of work on my core.
Wow. Good on you. So you think somewhere underneath there is like a really toned 6-pack?
I am.
Pretty.
Wow! Holy shit!
Somewhere. God damn.
Oh my God.
Jesus. That guy's your boss.
I can't find it. I've been searching for it. I have had the feeling that Whitty has there. I do believe that somewhere underneath there.
Yeah.
It is there. I think I could prove it to you guys with some sort of feats of physical core strength. I believe that I will beat everyone in this room on anything core related.
So could we send you right now out to the kitchen and do like 200 sit-ups while you're watching Chris Mad Dog Russo and Stephen A. Smith on First Take?
Oh, wow. It's a Doggy Wednesday, Ditto.
I
haven't seen him on the screen. Is he in today?
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, he's
in.
Well,
Big day.
Big day. The Seahawks have agreed to trade Russell Wilson. Plenty to talk about, plenty to argue about. We don't have a correspondent out in the other room. You want me to do correspondence? I think
What are feats of core strength, just so we're all on the same page?
Yep.
Like, what do you want to challenge all of us to?
well, it wouldn't be sit-ups. It would be, I guess, well, we've done planks before.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether push-ups would be part of it, even though that's more chest, because I have learned to use my core while doing push-ups, and I'm connected through my body. I believe I'd beat all of you in push-ups by a great amount.
Not Frankie.
I think I
Oh,
might.
definitely not
I think I might even
Oh,
beat
come on.
Frankie.
Wow.
Big
Big
shout.
shout.
Silly right
Big
now.
shout.
You are damn
Crossed the
so
line. I mean,
You sound so silly.
guy is jacked.
I don't even know though. What would be a lot of push-ups though? I feel like I might be able to get to 40. I'm not practicing push-ups. I'm just working on my core in a way that has shown me that it has strengthened the rest of my body. Some of that TB40 stuff. Or
TB12, that's a
yeah,
fine.
whatever. That is a fine.
TB40.
Who's TB40?
I think of him as 40
44
years old. Yeah,
That's for lubricating your
TB44.
muscles.
Closer to 50, I think.
Yeah.
Liability.
So you want to challenge Frankie to a push-up contest?
I
Weird.
want to challenge the show to a push-up contest.
I didn't come to
I'm out.
exercise, man.
I
Wait,
could
so
do
how-
like 10.
How many push-ups do you think you could do? Like,
I hope I can do 30 or 40.
I'm in on this challenge. I'm in.
Can I do mine on my knees, like girl push-ups or whatever they call them, sexistly in high school?
No, man, no.
I think I could.
I'm gonna get paid the same. You do the same push-ups. Let's go.
I think I could do 40 right now.
We should.
Of course you
You
could.
should verify that
I mean,
then.
I'll be sore for weeks.
We
but
will. We can try it after the show as a show, or it could be the post game. Like yesterday, Greg Cody urinating was the post game.
That was delightful.
If we remember around here, we could turn it into some bonus stuff. But we do have to get to first take because last week we're very poor planners around here. We got there like 20 or 30 minutes late, and now first take is again begun today. They're on their screen. They're screaming at each other. Stephen A. Smith has been rejuvenated like a man with a new affair that is being taught things in the bedroom, and Russo is his young self again. Just like Stephen A. sucked the soul out of Max Kellerman. He's now gray because Stephen A. Smith took that from him.
it was also mornings.
And no, it's now mornings and it's been dumped in mornings, but Max Kellerman had his youth stolen by Stephen A., who used him and has now rekindled it with an old New York flame. 65-year-old Chris Mad Dog Russo. Well, he's going to be on with us again tomorrow. We can't talk to him enough. Look at how rejuvenated he looks. He looks like a young man.
Well, it's midday for him too. Like he probably gets up at 4:30 in the morning.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And Stephen A. never sleeps. So.
Yeah.
Who is going to report, Billy, from the other room
I guess it's gonna be me.
on things being
See you later.
said?
Billy, we need you. We need to talk about the Love is Blind season 2 reunion. We need to talk about baking. There's so much stuff we need to get
You
to.
did
We
that
haven't
on
gotten Stugotz's
Stupidity.
list either.
You did that on
And we need
Stupidity.
Stugotz's list.
Do we all have a list ready?
Yeah.
Dan is right about Mad Dog, by the way. You were right. He is rejuvenated. Like, Stephen A. looks like a different person Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. When Wednesdays roll around, it is a different Stephen A. Smith. He is excited. He is into it. He feels like he's playing a game. Like it's one-on-one, and he's going up against one of the greatest of all times in Christopher Mad Dog Russo. I think this is going to be a permanent thing. I think fans love it so much, it's going to be a permanent thing.
Chris Mad Dog Russo's hair just looks so good. And I compare it to like the headset hair he had at Radio Row. I'm gonna hold up my phone to the camera here.
Delightful.
Like this is not that's not
Doggy.
the
Why
man
would
that's
you do
currently
that?
on First Take.
Yeah.
I just took a picture of him because I was excited to see him. I didn't think he'd turn into a television star 2 weeks later. His hair looks extraordinary.
I love that all it took for Mad Dog Russo to climb back into the game from over the paywall is someone fixed his hair.
Yeah. He also has a great TV smile, which he has a presence on television. Now,
He does, yes.
He has been doing an hour of television every day on MLB Network for some time. It's called High Heat, I believe.
Of course it is.
Great name for a podcast as well. But so
I'm on it.
It's done. I'm sure somebody's doing high heat.
He's
Yeah.
literally
guys.
doing it. Yeah.
right.
I don't think
That show is probably podcasted. I don't think he is. He does a show on MLB Network every day. You can
But I'm
very
gonna
easily-
get it in
it's
case
just
he
him
does. I
talking
mean-
for
He
40
doesn't
minutes.
think that Russo is savvy enough technologically to have secured, because he's not, and he's 15 years younger than Russo and is Russo, that Russo doesn't know that he needs to secure high heat immediately.
It's probably released as a podcast daily, I would assume.
I would guess.
But
Yeah.
Russo has no idea what's happening there.
Zero.
He's got people who could do that.
It's MLB high heat, by the way. We could just take high heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's available. What mundane baseball thing could we take?
Chin music. High cheese. Oh, just cheddar.
Chin music
There's
is
no
good.
way there's
It
a
has to be
podcast.
taken.
No, not mustard. There's no way there's a podcast called Chooch.
Chooch would be a great name for a podcast. Cheddar is an entire media organization. There's like, I only see their content at gas stations. You know, the little screen at the gas station that like randomly surprises you by talking to you.
Sedano talks to me all the time while I'm pumping gas. All the time.
George Sedano?
Yeah, on the little screen. Yeah.
What is he like? Do like a roundup of an NBA minute? Like,
Yeah,
you know
he
what he's
does
talking
something
about?
on it. Yeah, I don't know. He's just there talking to me.
I'm sorry. I have
Shell.
a segue for a second because I've been confused about this for years. Your guys' definition of chooch is different than the one that I had growing up.
What's yours?
Mine is what my grandparents used to call us when we were little kids, which means like you're a dummy, you're an idiot, like you don't have any common sense. You're a
Even
chooch.
better as a name.
And when I was little, I actually got so mad at my mom once for calling me a chooch that I made a wanted poster. Like I took a Polaroid of her face and I stapled it to a piece of cardboard and said wanted for calling her daughter a chooch. I was so offended by it. But your definition of chooch is different.
It's just a big arm.
Always confused me.
It's Vlad Guerrero.
I mean, I get it. I get your definition, but I don't get how it came to be.
There's also another definition of chooch. It's cocaine. So there's that.
Oh.
This
How
is
do you
the
know that?
perfect podcast. This is perfect now for us.
So it's a podcast about
Children and cocaine.
Yes.
misanthropic children, cocaine,
Big arms.
and big arms.
Big arms.
That's quite a breadth of podcast material you have there.
Well, it's not, chooch isn't just for children. It's for anyone who's like a jagoff. You're a chooch.
Oh.
Okay.
And then I was also confused because I had an Uncle Cheech, and I was like, well, is Uncle Cheech, is that something? And they're like,
Is
no,
Cheech a
that's just
chooch?
Cheech. His real name's like John.
So it's just misanthropes in general.
I think
Sure.
that instead of Cheech and Chooch, there is an avenue here for Stugotz to start a podcast that is Cheats and Chooch,
All
where
right.
you have him cheating on just him. Cheats and Chooch is a good name for a podcast. Secure it immediately. And let's get back to talking
While
about
doing cocaine.
yes, about the rejuvenation of one Mad Dog Russo as he gets back into this game. It's so great. I do feel like there just have been an absence of old white voices with a microphone in sports media. And I'm just glad someone else is here to take Skip Bayless's mantle and really have Stephen A. Smith saying, this is the guy I'm going to retire with because he's not afraid of me and he's willing to do dumb debate television and actually care about the things that he's yelling about. But he's going to do so not afraid of me. It's just going to be, we're going to do this the rest of the way, made for television, me against Mad Dog, and Mad Dog soon will want his name on the marquee.
Of course. He should get it, too. He deserves it. How insanely jealous is Mike Francesa, by the way? I mean, I don't even think he can watch Wednesdays. I really don't. I mean,
Must be
terrible.
hard.
Yeah, the Pope. I mean,
He doesn't have the laugh at himself that Chris Mad Dog, or like the wink and the smile that Chris Mad Dog Russo has. He carries the television well.
Stugotz, you are being just a tad, I feel, prisoner of the moment when you just say that after 3 appearances, Russo should have Stephen A. Smith's show after Stephen A. Smith has run off Max Kellerman. Like he's been around here indisputed, Stephen A., the GOAT, and you're saying 3 shows in, that's it, make it Mad Dog and Stephen A. on First Take.
I thought it after the first show. I mean, I'm not saying make it Mad Dog and Stephen A. Stephen A. should still have his name first. I'm saying that Stephen A. has been searching for a Skip Bayless, and he's been unable to find it anywhere but with Skip Bayless. And this is a guy, I think, that comes the closest to what it is Stephen A. Smith wants. He embraces debate in a way that Stephen A. does. He really does. It's genuine. And so I just think it's great television. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already been discussed like 5 days a week. Would you be surprised by that?
Tony, would you do me the favor as we get to Stugotz's top 5 things of he had a moment with this pandemic of grabbing a microphone, Lewis, somebody, get me someone out near First Take because we've now been talking for 15 minutes without listening to First Take, and I'm beginning to get upset that we don't schedule alarms, sirens, alerts around here that as soon as First Take starts, we are getting in on coverage to do play-by-play from over there. But in the interim, let's get to 5 moments that Stugotz has had during the pandemic, please.
All right. I had a moment with, by the way. Number 5, reading.
Wow.
How long did that moment last?
About a day.
A moment.
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
I had a moment. One day I picked up a book. I started to read it.
Yeah.
It was Manage Yourself.
Oh.
Yeah. Manage Yourself. Little red book.
And then you hired an assistant named Darcy.
Yes. To read it for me.
Please manage me. Manage yourself. What am I going to do? Someone else manage me.
He didn't get to chapter 2 where the advice was to finish what you've started.
Correct.
This book.
I just hired someone.
I have a question. Is this a list of things you've actually tried or things that you thought about trying?
Things I had a moment with.
My list is things that I thought about trying.
Oh, okay.
Sprinkled in there with some things I dabbled
A longer
with.
list.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're also feeling off of you, Stugotz, perhaps the question that people don't believe that it may have been reading was something you thought about for a moment, that you didn't actually read that book. You just picked it up and read a portion of that book.
I had a moment with reading. I did. I'm admitting to you guys. I read a chapter of the book. I put it down. I told myself I'd read another chapter the next day, and I did it. I hired an assistant.
How are you ranking this like things you did the least of to things you did the most of, or
Just 5 things I had a moment with during the
But they're
pandemic.
The
it's a
top
ranking.
five.
What do
No,
you
it's the
mean?
top
It's
five.
a
Yeah,
top
top
five.
five.
It's
Yeah,
not,
no,
it's
I
not
get it,
just
Stugotz.
five
Some moments
things.
were longer than others. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Top
Yeah.
Okay,
five.
but she's
That was a
asking
cup
you.
of coffee reading.
Okay. So the number 1 is the one that you had the longest moment with?
Yes.
Okay, number 4.
Learning an instrument.
We don't believe you.
I think you lasted
Gas
longer
bag.
reading than trying to
No
learn an
way.
instrument.
I
believe it.
have this app where this piano app where you can learn how to play the piano on the app, and I tried it for a day. I had
What's
a
it
moment.
called?
Yeah, hold on. I'll find
cat
it.
piano?
This is great.
Yeah, I gotta find it.
I've always wanted to learn to play either the piano or the violin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is this your list of top 5 things you thought about doing?
No, just things.
It's called Simply Piano. Look it up. Mhm.
Stop
App Store.
telling us to look things up.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, it's free.
Okay, good. I don't pay for apps.
I think I got to the part where you had to pay, and I bailed on it.
Why don't we pay for apps?
Why don't
They're
we?
99 cents
No.
for the most part.
Too much.
$2.99. Like, think about things in your life that you spent $5 on. Most notably, at the moment, a gallon of gas. But
Too soon.
like think about the things that you spend $5. Like, it's so weird to me, like how we get super penny pinchy around tech apps or subscriptions for websites when relative to other things we spend money on, it's much cheaper.
Because it adds up.
Yeah, it adds
And then
up.
it becomes more
And there's a
expensive.
free one also.
I just want you
True.
guys to know that Stugotz just got scared of his phone as it started making music. There's no way he did anything with this app other than think about using it. Like this isn't
I had a moment.
This isn't a real moment.
You're smiling at it as if it takes a selfie of you.
Billy, it is what you said. Stugotz thought about reading and thought about
Well, my list is things I thought about doing.
an
Were
instrument.
you at my house? I
and
mean, I
you
read a
got- you-
chapter.
You, went to no, but you went to the app and it just did that. It made a noise. It sounded
And
like
I
a
bailed.
piano, and you bailed because the technology scared you.
I love a good YouTube piano instructional video that lights up the keys you're supposed to push. Yeah,
does he
with the
know
lines.
so
It looks
much?
like Rock Band or Guitar Hero with
I
piano.
just saw Stugotz get scared of the piano app. I witnessed Stugotz, like, he turned it on, it made music, and he just, like, he touched it like if it was something on fire and then put it down. Number 3.
Yoga.
I believe he did a yoga
I
class
did.
or
I
did
did.
some sort
Touched
of
his
yoga
toes.
video.
I did. I tried.
Number 2.
Yard work.
That's on my list.
Wow.
Yard work.
I had a moment.
What kind of yard work?
I was doing hedges. I mowed the lawn once. I didn't do it well. One time, yeah. I watered the
Ow.
flowers.
Oh, Dano, listen to this. The boys are absolutely buzzing on First Take right now. They're debating Aaron Rodgers, what he needs to do to add to his legacy. Doggy said, and what I love about this show is that they do it with a wink and a smile, like Chris said. Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog are just laughing at each other, saying, Mad Dog pulled up a great quote. He's not an immortal when he's talking about Aaron Rodgers, like Bart Starr and Johnny Unitas.
Johnny, you.
Yeah, Johnny U.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Thank you, Tony. Please don't tell us what you love about the show. We're not interested in your commentary on First Take. We're just interested in what's being said on First Take.
Let's get back to landscaping with Stugotz. Don't you have a HOA?
Yep.
So don't you have somebody handling hedges for you?
Pandemic, Roy.
Johnny
That, like, that
Unitas.
makes a difference.
Everyone was inside for a while. I mean, not down here, but
Johnny Unitas died in 2002, so he's
Oh.
not immortal.
that's unfortunate.
Technically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also believe that if you Stugotz just got scared. He's got a couple of tells when he lies, and I believe you guys were close to the scent on something, asking how you mowed the lawn that one time when I don't believe anyone here believes you own a lawnmower.
I borrowed my neighbor's, John Crean. He was also on my top 5 lawn list of all time.
Before he moved, huh?
Yeah, right before he moved. Yeah.
Crazy.
Just got it in. Yeah.
Number one, the number one thing. When's the last time you think Stugotz owned a lawnmower? Like honestly,
I did it. John Green did.
Or touched a lawnmower. Touched a lawnmower.
1983.
Pandemic, John Creans.
Number one, Stugotz.
Meditation. I tried it.
That's one I've started and stuck with.
Really?
Yeah, I downloaded the Calm app during the pandemic, and I've actually stuck with it.
I went Calm and Headspace, and then I tried with Headspace. I didn't like Calm that much. It's hard, man. Meditation is really hard.
It really is.
Yeah.
I would strongly recommend that to anybody. 5 or 10 minutes at the start of the day. And it's the same thing with yoga, Stugotz, the beginner's stuff, and you feel like I'm not doing this right. All I'm doing is failing. Like I've tried transcendental, all sorts of meditation because my mind gets in my way a million ways. If you can slow your mind for 5 or 10 minutes, if you can figure out how to get some help there, I'm telling you, the mind can be a poison, and you can really get some healing on some things if you figure out how to do that. And I'm not claiming I figured out how to do it. I'm just telling you.
Have you taken steps, though? I'm wondering. Seriously.
I'm just telling you that if 5 or 10 minutes a day, if you can find to just quiet, if you can figure it out, and I'm promising you, I do not have this in any way figured out, but I would swear by the benefits if you reach a space where you can just shut your mind the bleep up for 5 minutes a day.
I do that in the morning on TikTok.
It's not quite.
I have a top 5 list. I have a top 5 list.
Wow.
We got to get to Billy's top 5 list of things that he thought about.
Billy, do yours first.
Okay, well, you can go first. I don't mind. All right, these are top 5 things that I thought about doing or slightly did, and then a bonus one.
OT.
OLI.
That's a fun.
Yeah.
Big-
OTB.
Should I read the redundant ones that everyone else has, or skip those?
No, read them.
Whatever you want.
Well,
Bill.
because I thought I was going to do
It's your list.
some reading.
Fill time,
Yeah,
man.
but
Let's
everybody's
go.
going to say reading.
We don't have
so-
to linger on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got some books. They were just sitting in the corner. Actually, that's not true. I don't know why I'm pointing this bat like if I'm Jalen Rose. I did read a book. One. It was the Bob Iger book.
Mm.
Yeah, Time of My Life or Ride of My Life or something about life. It wasn't bad. Anyway, number 2, baking. And we've discussed that didn't go well. Yeah, I watched a lot of baking shows though. Does that count?
Great British Bake Off?
I did see some of that.
Oh, the best.
A bit much.
What's a bit much?
I didn't
What?
love all the judges.
Wait.
Paul, Prue,
Hollywood?
Mary?
I didn't like all the judges.
There's 2 judges.
No, there's the bald guy and then the
He's
guy.
not a judge. He's a
He's a
host.
host. He's a host.
And Noel, he's a host.
Whatever. Same thing.
It's a good bake. You've got good flavors in there. I just didn't feel all the way. It's a bit under Prue, so it didn't go all the way down.
It's a soggy sponge, and I do not like when there's so much liquid at the bottom of the sponge.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of a soggy bottom.
That was Bane again.
Yeah, it was.
Do you feel in charge?
Glass blowing.
Get the hell out of here.
I thought about it.
Oh, come on. Okay. Thought about it.
Yeah,
Fair.
didn't do it.
All right.
Because it was a whole thing. You have to go to a place and you have to blow glass.
I know,
and
I
there's gonna
tried
be
it,
people
but-
blowing into it, and it's like I don't want to get
Pandemic bad.
Exactly. Not a good time to be blowing into things that other people are blowing into. Gardening. A lot of people said that. As I pointed out, I recently got a watering can, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
Wow.
Even though I don't love it.
No?
No. Walking.
You don't love
Walking.
You don't love
Power
your,
walking.
Why don't you love your watering can?
Too much water comes out of it.
Oh, okay.
I can't control the flow the way I wanted to.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Walking was number 5.
Yes, we
Right.
already.
And then OLI, home renovation. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Right.
Well, but you've done some of that. You've after the mailbox and shelves. Has there been any other?
Well, I had to renovate the entire house before the mailbox, so that was
Jeez.
pain in the ass, not fun.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get better at it?
I hope to never have to do it again. I will say that.
But did you do a lot of complicated things in the renovation with your own hands?
You
Did
don't feel like a sense of pride of having almost built your house with your bare hands?
I can't believe Billy's telling me that you had
Overstated.
built your house with your bare hands. I would not have thought that you
Well, I
knew.
wouldn't say that. That's a bit of an exaggeration. But yes, I had to do a lot of renovation. Renovation's expensive, so we did some of that, and it took a really long time.
Do you feel pride with the work that you've done?
I do, but then I see all these other little things, and I notice all these flaws, and I'm like, I could have done that better. I could have fixed that. This needs to be fixed. And I'm just always seeing things that still need to get done.
I mean, that's the point of home ownership, isn't it?
No.
Perfectionist. Wait, what? That's the point?
Yeah.
I never want to own a home.
You got to maintain your home.
Billy, I believe the one among us who is best at renovations and does not brag about it, I believe Roy's good at all of this stuff. Are you not, Roy? I mean, not all of it. Obviously, wiring, and I don't know if you're any good at wiring and electrical, but I imagine you to be good at taking care of your home.
Well, electrical, I kind of avoid that because I don't want to die. But I'm not a coward.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Just flip the breakers off and get in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
man, come
I
on.
do that, but then again, I tried to fix a fan in Claire's room. I couldn't do it. You know why? Because the house was built in like 1940 something and had old electrical stuff, so I had to get an electrician for that. But otherwise, I'm handy. I'm not that bad.
Doesn't sound like it. Electricity is electricity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Among us, do we have anybody who is actually good at this?
I am.
My boyfriend.
Of course. Here we go. Of course. Stugotz, who hasn't, Stugotz, how do you think you're good at everything?
I mean, home renovations.
When you're good at you're nothing. It's a bafflement to me. How
You see Chip and Joanna Gaines and you think this is going to be so simple, and it never ends up being that way,
Oh, but I think as a show, we are also kind of terrible. I believe our show and not being able to fix a tire. I believe a lot of people listening to this are like,
Please, I could change a tire, Dan.
I could change the tire.
Oh, Lewis fixes
for
everything,
yourself.
he
Lewis
claims.
fixes everything. Okay.
Can't throw a football, though.
This guy.
Billy, you have eclectic tastes. You run counterculture generally. HBO, you've heard me raving, making the best stuff on television. However, I have seen a trailer for something that is a comedy that spoke to me because I watched it and I'm like, it seems to me that Our Flag Means Death is something that Billy might love. Just a comedy in the modern age of pirates.
Yeah.
And am I right or am I wrong?
I did like it, yeah. A gentleman pirate. See, this is a well-to-do person who decides, spoiler alert, that, he was challenged as a child, saying he would never amount to anything, only had things because of his wealth and his family's wealth, and that he wasn't really kind of like tough, I'd say. So he gave it all up and he became a pirate. But he doesn't love everything that goes into piracy, like the killing and the murdering and the stealing and all that stuff, and that's the show.
Is it funny?
Yeah. There's like 3 episodes out so far. I think another 3 come out. I don't know how these release schedules work out. Has no one seen this yet? This Gentleman Pirate show?
No.
I haven't
Not
seen
yet, but I want to watch it now.
You'd like it. It gives off like musical vibes, even though it's
Ooh.
not really a musical.
I like musicals.
Yeah.
HBO is pushing boundaries all over the place. It would make sense that as the content golden age arrives, Bomani's got a show here starting soon with Adam McKay. Adam McKay's got another show, Winning Time. I saw part of the first episode last night. He directed it, and I fell asleep, not because it was bad, just because I'm exhausted.
Oh, okay, good.
And
Good
Still
save.
not quite the ringing
Same,
endorsement.
same
but
actually.
program.
All the
I
content
fell,
we have to
I
do
fell
that
asleep
part
during
out,
it too
yeah.
while holding a hot tea. Dangerous.
This is something that has happened to me during the pandemic. I'm practically a narcoleptic.
We've noticed.
I can't criticize you. I fell asleep during an entire Heat game for 2.5 hours at 7:30.
7:30, late night.
How have you noticed that I'm a narcoleptic, Stugotz?
I mean, we get texts from, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
What do you think a narcoleptic is?
I don't know.
Oh!
I'm on a trial here.
Dan, they've switched gears from Aaron Rodgers to Kyrie Irving in his 50-point performance. Stephen A. Smith was incensed and said KD should be sick about Kyrie dropping 50 points because his best ability is his availability.
Oh,
He doesn't have it.
What?
Wait,
What?
he's talking about Kyrie Irving being available?
That's right. He
James
said-
Harden is in Philadelphia because he's never available.
Not the point, Whitty. The point that Stephen A. is making is you got to be available for your team. Who cares about dropping 50 points? He should be ashamed of himself for clapping KD. That's what Stephen A. Smith said.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate your play-by-play. Get back to us when something really good and really spicy happens.
Wow, that was quick.
I also have a top 5 of my pandemic things that I've tried, if you guys want that.
Don't
Spicy.
want that. Please just stay out there and report from over there. Not
Number
interested.
5, writing.
Wow.
Writing.
Number 4, walking.
Steve Martin.
Number 3, reading.
Steve Martin.
Number 2, meditation.
Steve Martin.
Number 1, peyote. Back to you guys.
All right. La esquina de Chus Maria. What do you mean that means two of us, Stugotz?
Peyote.
It makes two of us.
That's not on my list.
I stuck with that one, though.
What do you think narcolepsy is?
I told you already. I mean, I'm not on trial here, man. It's you steal things? I mean. Duh.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
Stat of the day is brought to you by ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. This is courtesy of Sport Radar. Kyrie Irving had the most efficient 50-point game in NBA history last night. 101% true shooting. He went 6 of 7 from 2, 9 of 12 from 3, and 11 of 13 from the free throw line for the most efficient 50-point game in NBA history.
I would like to think that our show, to some of you, not necessarily Sloan Analytics, but if you want some stuff on basketball that is really informed, Haberstroh and Amin Elhassan do basketball coverage that is really informed. But I'd like to think that our show helped some in the audience with a move toward advanced measurements, and I had no idea that a true shooting percentage over 100 was possible. I didn't think we're literally, Stugotz, you've wanted it all your life. Chris Whittingham just announced publicly, you've wanted someone to give 110% their entire life. I did not realize.
I finally have a stat for it.
I did not realize, and he missed 2 free throws. How much better? I thought that the true shooting, I did not know a true shooting percentage could be better than 100%. I'm learning this with Kyrie Irving. That team is such an interesting monster. If they are healthy during the playoffs, of making the regular season not mean anything at all, if they can win with those two guys, if Kyrie and Kevin Durant can just be healthy enough to just take the economy that they have taken. They decided to go to Brooklyn. Weirdest thing. Durant and Kyrie are friends now, and in talking about some of this stuff, Stugotz, that we've talked about, power of players. We learned it during the pandemic. Matt Sullivan wrote that book on the Nets where it's like, oh, holy shit. Kyrie and Kevin Durant run the Nets.
Yeah.
They've got all the power with the Nets. And the power, as you run the friction against organizations, because, my God, Stugotz, the Pat Rileys and the Phil Jacksons, they want to be in charge. It's important that the culture, the organization is in charge. But Kyrie and Durant went to their agents, and they're like, put us together. Package it, get us everything. Anywhere we put this economy, Brooklyn, anywhere else, just get us in charge. Woo! If they do that.
It's a big if.
No, again, Stugotz, you can question it at every turn.
But
right?
It's intriguing and interesting, yes.
At every turn, we could do the biggest little word in sports. Yep, if. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might fail.
But if they can.
But they're doing it. I don't even know. Like, okay. They win or they lose. I've just never lived during a time where the control is that obviously in the hands of the players. They took their economy and they said, you now work for us, Steve Nash and everybody else in the organization. Marks, you work for us, all of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see. We'll see if their talent is more special than the talent of the organization to make these things winners, because I think you need both. You need some Brady and some Belichick. Rodgers needs some LaFleur.
Right.
Like you do need both, but we don't have any questions anymore about what's more valuable, correct? Like,
oh no, it's the player, Dan. But we've always known that. But
in that sport.
Well,
in that sport for certain.
Wait, have we known it? But Michael Jordan just did a 10-part documentary about, like, have we? No, I don't feel like we have known that. I feel like we've been taught that the last 30 years, and we will give up the grip on that in media and fandom. You don't want the players to actually have this because you want to question, oh, you don't know how to do it. It needs to be smarter people than you who do it.
But don't you think most fans, if given the choice, okay, I say we know it because you and I have been discussing this for a while. But given the choice, Kevin Durant with power or Pat Riley, don't you think most people, most fans would take Kevin Durant with power?
But Brooklyn have not demonstrated a pattern of success yet.
That's right.
Like last year, they went out in round 2. They still almost beat the Bucks just by being down to like a star and a quarter because of how hurt James Harden was. And this year, I mean, as much as last night Kyrie Irving turns in a good performance, they're 4-17 in their last 21 games.
Durant's been hurt.
Yeah, I understand. Right. But right now, they're the 8th seed. If they don't climb above the 8th seed right now, their first play-in game, which as the 9 or as the 8, is away at Toronto. Right? We don't know if Kyrie Irving is going to be available for that because of Canada's vaccine situation. So there's a chance that Brooklyn goes and loses a game. Now, they'll probably then beat the winner of Charlotte and Atlanta, who are the current 9 and 10. But like this can still unravel. Like the Brooklyn Nets have given themselves over to these two guys thus far without results. And the only way that it is worth giving over is if everything is worth it for the championship. Well, if it's not, then what are we doing?
What we're doing is we're competing AAU style between Clutch and CAA with the Knicks, and we're going to exchange in a salary cap league. Power for money, and it may not work,
but then what's Phoenix? Like, Phoenix is just a damn good team that went to the finals last year and is the best team in the league again this year.
But Whittingham, this was where the fight was with Riley and LeBron as LeBron went to Vegas and Riley is flying out there and saying, why do I have to put trophies in the hallway while you and your boys got your feet up on the table and are watching the World Cup? So I have to sell myself to you like I'm some sort of salesman instead of the legend that I am, because he believes in what the Suns are. And now he's going to fight what the Nets are with what he believes. And I don't know which one wins, but holy shit, is it interesting. Like, to me, I don't care who wins. To me, it's just like, oh, wow, okay. This is going to be they've handed over the league. The All-Star game gets picked by LeBron and Durant.
It's their league,
The
man.
league of Bird and Magic, built atop Bird and Magic, their rivalry. This is what 40 years later players trying to get power looks like. And I know people in the audience are tired of hearing about me talking about the power, but to me, it's endlessly fascinating to watch this happen in my lifetime where I'm like, oh, holy shit, these guys are going to bounce against, whether it's Belichick, they're going to bounce against, no organization is in charge, and athletes realizing, well, wait, if you're going to salary cap me, and the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford is $5 million a year, when I don't think that's the difference between them. But he just won the Super Bowl because I believe Aaron Rodgers probably would have won a lot if he had McVay. I'm guessing that
and an organization that kept trading picks to go get Von Miller and Aaron Donald. And
again, I will say this again, and I said it yesterday. I really don't believe that people understand how groundbreaking the Rams were in what I'm about to say. What real leadership looks like when a 30-plus coach isn't actually afraid of his own shadow and the criticisms and what's going to happen if I don't get it on fourth down. They decided they were right on Goff. They gave him the money. Once you give them the money, you've decided you're right. And holy shit, did they realize fast and without ego they were wrong. That doesn't happen that quickly in leadership, in my experience. You got to be McVay. You got to be unafraid. You got to be the guy who's had so much success. Like, bleep you. I don't have to be Belichick. It's not about, it is about organization, but when I'm wrong, I'm going to admit it. And the fight with Belichick and Brady was saying, hey, you're wrong. And Belichick was, no, I'm not wrong. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. No, I'm Bill Belichick. I'm never wrong. Look, I just beat McVay. And McVay realized while looking up, oh, I can't beat him with Goff. I got to get better. I got to get better there. And now who's got the power? Now Stafford's got the power to get $45 million, but it didn't have to be Stafford. It's all of them. Like, we don't have to choose sides on this. But the Nets chose sides. The Nets said, we don't matter. We got Jay-Z, we don't matter. We had an oligarch, don't matter. We had Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Darren Williams, don't matter. Hey, Kyrie, Kevin, we'll give you all the power. Can you bring that $500 million thing over here so our franchise could be worth a lot more?
Won't matter unless they win, though.
Correct?
Yeah.
And it also might not matter anyway, because if the Knicks go 48-34 and win a first-round series, that'll be a bigger deal.
They won a playoff game last year. It was a bigger deal.
There's no disputing that it's interesting, correct?
Oh,
that you're watching it as that.
Philly is this way as well. when you think about it's the culmination of all the process that they did, and then going after a guy who has worked his way out of situations in two different places in 16 months.
But yesterday provided another example of it in just some sort of side sports transaction in the middle of your week that I know is a big one because the quarterbacks are big. But look at what happened in Seattle, where the game changed in football, where the Seattle Seahawks made Pete Carroll seem like a genius because they had value at the most important position. The way they built their team is they had Russell Wilson and they had him cheap so they could pay defensive players in a salary cap league where the billionaires can't control themselves. Because God almighty, wouldn't you like to see what would happen if Jerry Jones and Daniel Snyder had to fight in a free market over Aaron Rodgers right now? But they can't because the owners can't control themselves. What happened in Seattle was a fight in the locker room between company man Russell Wilson and a defense that thought it was winning him championships. The defense physically breaks apart. The championship physically breaks apart. And at the end, Russell Wilson is like, get me out of here. A week ago, Pete Carroll said, we will not trade him. How quickly the organization got to be a doddering old Pete Carroll as Russell Wilson goes to fight in a division where he might be the worst quarterback.
Third or fourth best quarterback in that division.
I mean, Derek Carr was better than Russell Wilson last year.
He was, yes.
So there are a lot of reasons for that, but at the end of what's left in Seattle that Russell Wilson built, as the defense ran him out as a management guy, Russell Wilson's like, get me out of here into a better team. I spent all my collateral here. I got my money. You got my value. You got my best years, but I know how strong I am now. I'm bigger than the Seahawks. There is no other. I mean, they released Bobby Wagner yesterday. Mm-hmm. As a side note, Bobby Wagner is like, I think of when you say who's always in the right spot. All I am, and anywhere in life, it's Bobby Wagner. Like anywhere in life, you tell me who's always in the right spot. I'm going to say Stugotz first.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say Bobby Wagner.
Great name for a podcast.
It's a terrible. What is the
in
name
the
of the
right
podcast?
Spot?
Yeah, in the right spot.
Always in the
Always
right
in the
spot.
right spot.
Yeah,
the right
name it
spot,
like
yeah.
the right time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on it.
Well, Bomani's got the right time.
Oh, that's
That was-
unfortunate.
Yeah, that was a joke. Oh, it's already taken.
Wow.
Right place, right time.
Oh.
That's a good name for a podcast.
I'm on
I
it.
thought you were going to say first Stugotz, then Bobby Wagner. That would be a good title. Probably
Let's
get
see if
me
it's
his
available.
permission.
Let's analyze it now. Is Russell Wilson right place, right time in Denver? Because you came in here today with John Elway, please, and I thought it was funny that just on yesterday's show, that while you guys were criticizing the job that John Elway has done at quarterback, that there were some people listening to our podcast 3 hours later that were listening to you and Cody criticizing John Elway after he had gotten Russell Wilson, while you guys did not know that he had gotten Russell Wilson. That's something that happened just yesterday. So why John Elway, please?
Is that wrong place, wrong time? What is that?
You are wrong place, wrong time on your opinion. You are right place and right time on everything career-oriented. Why John Elway, please?
I have no idea why we're praising John Elway. The reason the Broncos have to trade away their entire franchise every 5 years is because John Elway, who is supposed to be good at this, evaluating quarterbacks and getting quarterbacks, he's a former quarterback, but because he's so beloved in Denver, his name's at every car dealership, every restaurant, it's everywhere, no one ever criticizes the guy. He had to trade away everything. 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, third-round picks, a good tight end, a good defensive lineman to get Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson is now the third or fourth best quarterback in his own division. Elway getting credit for that? No. He should be criticized for not being able to find a quarterback the right way through the draft, through free agency. So what does he do? He mortgages the entire future of the organization every 5 years to go get a veteran quarterback and hope that that guy will win him a championship.
I think he has been criticized a lot for that. They've been really bad at drafting quarterbacks over the last 10 years. I think Peyton Manning and winning that Super Bowl is like the only, feather in their cap that they can point to and be like, look, we kind of know what we're doing. Like, we've had a decent defense over the last whatever years, and we were able to have one year of a really good quarterback, and that's all you need to win a Super Bowl, as we've seen numerous times. He's gotten a lot of criticism, and there's no right way to get a franchise quarterback. You either have one or you don't. And if Russell Wilson has anything left in the tank, and Seattle doesn't want to pay him when his or pay him his extension when his time's up, then like it's a good trade for Denver.
How about
it's a
Elway?
bad trade for Seattle.
How about Elway do his job, figure out who's going to be a good quarterback, develop that quarterback, rather than have Seattle do it, the Colts do it,
But
everyone else do it
make a
for
difference
him.
If you win.
If you get one of the
makes a difference.
if you get one of the 9 guys that matters, who cares? Like, he's actually good at the other stuff. His receivers are good. His defense is good. If you get a quarterback, like, what difference is it? Like, you like John Elway has to prove himself by trading up to go get Kenny Pickett as opposed to just take Russell Wilson, who's right there in front of you. Like, just go get a proven guy.
He offered Brock Osweiler $80 million.
He's really bad at it. So you're basically saying sink yourself further into the sunk cost.
No.
As opposed to like taking another Drew Lock, taking another Osweiler, signing another Bridgewater. Like, instead of sinking yourself further deep into the cost, go get the answer. You know it's the answer.
Yeah, but you don't know it's the answer. That's the point.
Oh, come on.
No, but you feel like the Broncos are going to win a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson?
They are appreciably better than they were at the start of the day yesterday.
And how
appreciably.
Will it look in 3 years when he has no draft picks, where he has
depends.
nothing?
I mean, it depends what they end up paying him and what they can build around him, having given away a bunch of picks. But you can't say that like he deserves criticism when it seems like he did at least one thing that's decent, and he has gotten a lot of criticism for the things that he's screwed up. Also, I think it's telling that they did this the week after the Combine, and you can probably guess that the Seahawks went to the Combine, either said, okay, we really like one of these quarterbacks, or we think there's a better option out there that isn't going to cost us as much as Russell Wilson wants if he stays here. And the Broncos maybe thought the opposite. We don't like any of these quarterbacks. This isn't a particularly stacked quarterback draft. None of these free agents are appealing to us. We've done the free agent thing. We haven't liked any of them. And we're not going to screw up another, first-round pick on someone who's going to end up being Paxton Lynch. So let's
because
trade
I'm
for
bad at
Russell
my
Wilson.
job.
I was great at my job. And so therefore I was
debatable, Dan. I know he won the 2 Super Bowls, but people forget he lost 3 as well. I mean,
okay. So maybe John Elway. Okay, put that up there, Juju. Put it on our social media account. John Elway was no good as a quarterback.
Well, not definitively no good, just not sure. The jury's out.
Eli won 2.
That's a podcast.
I love this.
Out.
Eli
jury
won
is
2,
out.
or Eli.
That's a good name for a podcast. Yes.
What is the jury is out about?
The jury's out is debating whether or not people are, kind of a level, and you got is the jury still out on this player?
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
there's
the jury still
there's
out?
also a legal podcast as well.
Yeah.
Where we break down major criminal cases.
That's taken.
Put it on the poll.
Really?
Is the jury still out on John Elway as a player? But keeping thematically with both our podcast themes and what happens when a great player is given great power, Stugotz is correct that with that job, John Elway has proven a job he did not train for, to run the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he ran the Broncos, but he didn't run that part of the Broncos.
Correct.
He has proven to be not very good at knowing what a good quarterback looks like. Now, perhaps better than Stugotz when he wonders if John Elway was a good quarterback. But he doesn't know.
I thought Alex Smith was better than Patrick Mahomes.
He does not know how to select a good quarterback, so he did when given all the power in the world, the thing all of us would have done, go get Peyton Manning. And then he tried several other ways to invent his own Peyton Manning, and is now bleep it. It's the end of my career. Everyone thinks I suck now. I was pretty good as a player. I don't know what it takes to be a great quarterback by picking one. I know what it takes to be behind center. Let's just trade everything for Russell Wilson.
I can do that.
That's right. That's right. But John Elway just did it.
It's not fair.
And see, he's got all the power. Be a better athlete. Be a legendary quarterback that some other Stugotz can say wasn't that good a quarterback, so you two can have all the car dealerships in Denver.